The New Orleans Saints are off to a not so great start this season in real life. They're currently 3-6. They just lost to the Ravens on Monday Night Football. I actually made the schedule match up to what happened to them in real life by forcing wins and losses. Madden still hasn't updated the start from now feature that they have. Currently setting at 3-6. One thing I'm noticing about this roster is that there's a lot of older guys on the team, like between 29 to 33 years old, that are going to be aging out pretty quickly. So there's going to be a lot of turnover on the team pretty soon. We got 32-year-old Taysom Hill at tight end. I don't think that Jameis Winston is the long-term answer at quarterback, so we'll definitely be focusing on quarterback in the upcoming draft. I downloaded the actual draft class, so we'll be having CJ Stroud and all them guys in it. We still got Alvin Kamara at running back. He's a 90 overall X Factor, 27 years old, so he still has a few good years of production ahead of him. We're going to try to take advantage of it while we can. We got Chris Olave, first round pick, 82 overall, star dev wide receiver. Jarvis Landry, he is, I think, 29 years old. Dude's constantly injured. And we also have Michael Thomas, who's always injured for sure at wide receiver. So we're definitely going to have to figure out something at wide receiver.
Basically, like, you can't trust him, or, you know, he's not being honest about his injury. Like,
offensive line is good on the right side, like middle to right side, but not so great on the left side. So we're going to have to try to figure something out about that. Defensively, this is where a lot of the older guys are at. Cameron Jordan is like 32, 33 years old. Yeah, 33. He's still good. I mean, he's 88 overall X Factor, but he's going to be declining really quickly. We also have Demario Davis at middle linebacker. He's 92 overall, a superstar, but he's 33 years old as well, so he'll be declining extremely fast. And then at safety, we got Tyrann Mathieu, Honey Badger, 93 overall X Factor, 30 years old, so he'll start declining pretty quickly as well. So yeah, the defense is pretty much a lot of older dudes. Animata, 29 years old, so like, a lot of these guys have basically peaked out their potential. Marshawn Lattimore is one of the best corners in the game. He's 90 overall superstar, 26, so he still has a good ways to go. Probably be the main corner we have featuring for the entire 5-year rebuild. Marcus May, 82 overall, star dev, 29 years old, so he's going to start regressing quickly as well. So yeah, for the first year, I'm focusing on quarterback and defensive tackle. And then we also have Chris Harris, who's 83 overall, normal dev, 33 years old, so another 30-something-year-old guy. This is what the injury report is looking like right now. Michael Thomas is on here. He's out for the whole season in real life with a broken toe.
Basically, like, you can't trust him.
He's 90 overall still, 29 years old with superstar. I wonder how long he's under contract for. Still has 3 more years, so 2 more years after this year, he's gonna be making $28 million and $27 million. Dude's getting paid the most. I'm checking out players available to negotiate with to try to re-sign players, and if you look in the top right, it says that we're negative $14 million in cap space. So we can't even try to bring any of these guys back if we wanted to. End of the regular season, we finished 5-12. Buccaneers went 12-5, Panthers went 9-8, and the Falcons went 3-14. See what happened over here with the stats on the season. We had the 15th ranked offense, and defensively we were ranked 32nd, so we have a long ways to go here. Jameis Winston threw for 4,600 yards, 31 touchdowns, 18 interceptions, 65% completion with a 97 rating. Alvin Kamara ran for 997 yards, 4 yards per carry with 14 touchdowns. Mark Ingram almost 400 yards, 3.8 per carry with 11 touchdowns. Jarvis Landry led the team in receiving yards with 1,000. He had 13 touchdowns. Traquan Smith had 1,000 with 6 touchdowns, and the rookie Chris Olave had 1,000 yards with 6 touchdowns. Taysom Hill had 700 yards with 3 touchdowns. Defensively, Demario Davis led the team in tackles with 121. Cameron Jordan had 21 TFLs. Davenport had 19 sacks. Marcus Davenport led the team with 9. Man, I wish that we could get him back, but it looks like we're not going to be able to. Cameron Jordan got 6.5 sacks, and Kentavious Street had 4. Interceptions, Marshawn Lattimore led the team with 4. Davis had 2, Tyrann Mathieu had 2, and Paulson Adebo had 2. The Packers beat the Browns in the Super Bowl 20-17 to win their 5th Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers won Super Bowl MVP. This is highly unlikely to happen in real life because the Packers are not looking so great. Could be wrong, but that's just what it seems like. Jalen Hurts won MVP of the regular season with the Eagles. That's definitely possible. He's having a pretty good season. Doug Peterson won Coach of the Year with the Jaguars. Cooper Kupp won Offensive Player of the Year with the Rams. Von Miller won Defensive Player of the Year with the Bills. Wan'Dale Robinson won Offensive Rookie of the Year with the Giants. And Aiden Hutchinson won Defensive Rookie of the Year with the Lions. Well, we have 27 players we're supposed to be negotiating with, but we have literally $2 million in cap space, so we cannot bring anybody back. Checking out the team salaries to see where we can try to save some money, and it's really not even worth it to release any of these guys. They're getting paid so much money, but even releasing them is not going to save very much. I mean, Cameron Jordan would save us $15 million, but he's probably the best player we have on defense, so I definitely don't want to get rid of him. Michael Thomas is going to make $28 million, but if we cut him, we're going to have to pay basically a $20 million penalty, only save $8 million. I'm going to wait till the next season and see what we can do. Demario Davis, getting paid $13 million, we would save $8.5 million, but he's 88 overall, so he's definitely the best linebacker we have. It's not worth it to cut any of these guys, so we're just going to go ahead and roll with the team, try to build through the draft. Checking out the draft picks that we have, we don't even have a first round pick this year. We have a second round pick, and then next year we do have a first round pick, but we don't have a second round pick or a seventh round pick, so gonna have to try to do what we can. It's crazy. This is what the team is looking like before the free agency and the draft. We still got Jameis Winston at quarterback. We might have to roll with him one more time if we can't get a quarterback. I'm gonna try to trade up for one if possible. I don't know if we have the draft capital to be able to do it. Taysom Hill already fell down to 71 overall. Troutman's better than him now at tight end. Michael Thomas is coming back off injury, but we'll see how long he actually stays on the field. Defensively is where we're hurting the most. We need 2 defensive tackles, a defensive end, outside linebackers, cornerbacks. I mean, pretty much need a lot of stuff over here. Here in the draft, the Houston Texans just drafted Bryce Young, number 1 overall. He was for sure top 5 talent, had him 100% scouted, but the rest of the quarterbacks don't look so great. CJ Stroud, it says that he's projected first rounder, but he's true second to third. Same thing with Will Levis from Kentucky, and then Tanner McKee is potential undrafted. Hendon Hooker is a true 3rd to 4th round talent. DJ from Clemson is a true 3rd round talent, and then Spencer Rattler says he's an undrafted free agent. Devin Leary could be a day 3 draft pick, so I'm gonna go ahead and just simulate to the 2nd round and see if any of these quarterbacks are still there that are worth getting maybe. Here in the 2nd round, all the quarterbacks that are left, the ones that I have 100% scouted, they're like day 3 talents or even worse, like undrafted free agents. The ones that I don't have scouted, I don't want to take a chance on one of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and draft a defensive end because we really need help on defense. I'm going to take Will McDonald from Iowa State. He's a speed rush scheme fit. We really need help on defense, like especially defensive line. So he has elite acceleration, great agility, elite change of direction with great speed. Normal dev, 85 speed. That sucks, he has normal dev. Here in the 3rd round, I'm going to go ahead and draft a quarterback, even though he says he's a day 3 talent. It's only the 3rd round, so technically day 3 is 4th round to 7th round. But we really need a quarterback, and I'm going to draft Devin Leary. He's a field general scheme fit. He has B deep accuracy, A medium accuracy, A short, and A under pressure. He doesn't look like he's like a great athlete, but beggars can't be choosers. We don't have any money, so we're going to draft him. He has 88 throw power. It's kind of a weak arm, but that's all right. Here in the 4th round, I'm going to draft this left tackle, Robert Scott Jr. from Florida State. He's a power scheme fit. Well, I'm going to move him to guard to make him a scheme fit. He's 6'5", 315 pounds. Only got him 50% scouted, but he has the potential to have A in a lot of things. He's actually a pretty good athlete. He has good acceleration, great agility, great change of direction with great strength. Only normal dev with 91 strength. Here in the 5th round, I'm going to draft this wide receiver, Dante Demas Jr. from Maryland. He's a physical scheme fit, 6'4", 215 pounds, 21 years old. And he has elite jumping with elite strength, decent speed. Normal dev, only 87 speed. Here in the 7th round, the last pick that we have, I'm going to draft this defensive end, Braylon Trice from Washington. He's a speed rush scheme fit. We know for sure he has B finesse moves, so that's something that's good to look for in the 7th round whenever there's pretty much no good talent left. He has 80 speed, normal dev. Checking out the draft recap, the defensive end we selected in the 2nd round is only a 70 overall, but he does have 85 speed. He'll probably end up being a starter right away. Devin Leary, the quarterback we drafted in the 3rd round, is a 68 overall with normal dev. We didn't get anybody that had hidden dev. But let's check this quarterback out. He has 88 throw power, 78 deep accuracy, 81 medium, and 84 short. 68 awareness. His throw on the run is 75. He has 77 speed. Probably just gonna end up making him the starter right away. And then Robert Scott at left tackle, 67 overall. So wide receiver is actually a 70 overall, not bad for a 5th round pick. And then this defensive end is only a 64. Well, let's see what the entire draft class is looking like. I've used this draft class a couple of times now. So yeah, Bijan Robinson's at 82, Anderson's at 81, Bryce Young's at 79. This is what the team is looking like before the season starts. I'm gonna end up making Leary the starting quarterback. We got Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara. We got Chris Olave. We got Deontay Hardy. We're actually like pretty rich at wide receiver, I guess you could say. I'm seriously considering going into full-blown rebuild mode and trading away all of our best players, or at least some of them, like Michael Thomas, maybe even Kamara, maybe even this right tackle, to try to see if we can get us some draft picks in return or something. I don't know, I'm still debating on that. But we got Penning at left tackle. Forgot that he was on the team, and he's always injured apparently. That's the reason why I didn't even know he was on the team.
Basically, like, you can't trust him.
Defensively, we're pretty much screwed. We had the worst defense last year, but this year is going to be even worse than that. We didn't have any defensive tackles on the team at all, so I had to move defensive ends over to make them defensive tackles. So yeah, the defense is going to be pretty bad. I would be amazed if this team wins one game. But I'm going to figure out if I want to trade some players away or not, and I'll be back. All right, I'm trading Michael Thomas to the Patriots for a first-round pick, and I'm also throwing in a third-round pick to make the deal happen. Pretty sure this wouldn't be a realistic trade, but I got to do what I got to do to try to make this team good. I'm also trading away wide receiver Traquan Smith, and I'm going to get Nakobe Dean from the Eagles along with Jack Stoll, the tight end. We really need help on defense, so I'm going to try to bring us a new young linebacker in. I'm going to go ahead and trade away Cameron Jordan as well. He's an 87 overall defensive end, but he's 34 years old. I'm going to trade him to the Dolphins for Christian Wilkins. He's a younger defensive end, and pick up a 4th round draft pick. I'm also trading away middle linebacker Demario Davis. He's like 33, 34 years old as well. And for some reason, the Bears were willing to give me a 1st round draft pick straight up. I mean, it's not realistic, but we got to do what we got to do with this team. I'm going to go ahead and trade away Jameis Winston as well. We don't need him anymore. We're going to start the rookie at quarterback. So I'm going to pick up this defensive tackle, Maurice Hurst from the Vikings, straight up. All right, I'm switching the offensive scheme to a West Coast power run because that's what we have the highest percentage in, 78%. The best playbook for West Coast power run is obviously Kansas City, so pretty sure the offense is still going to be trash. I'm not messing with the defense at all, leaving it alone. This is what the team is looking like after making all the changes. We got the rookie quarterback Leary starting, he's 68 overall with normal dev. We got Olave at wide receiver 1 and Hardy at wide receiver 2. Troutman is going to be starting at tight end. Offensive line doesn't look bad at all, honestly. Defensively, it's where we got a lot of work to do, but we just had to sacrifice for now to try to make us have a future, I guess you could say. But we did upgrade the defensive tackle spots. We upgraded this outside linebacker spot, traded away Davis, and we pretty much need a lot of work on defense. So we're gonna get through this season and see how things go. Here at the midseason point, we're doing pretty terrible as expected. We're 1-6. I'm honestly surprised that we won even one game. Panthers are 5-2, the Buccaneers are 4-3, and the Falcons are 2-5. Let's see what kind of players we can try to bring back if we want to. We got $82 million in cap space since we traded away a lot of big contracts. We got some young guys here, definitely want to try to bring back. Christian Wilkins, definitely want to try to bring him back. He's 27, 83 overall, scheme fit, star dev. He doesn't have a lot of interest, and I don't blame him because the team is terrible, so I'm going to bump him up to a 3-year deal. He's happy to come back. I'm surprised that was that easy, honestly. Cesar Ruiz, I turned down his 5th-year option because he's only a 77 at the time. I want to try to bring him back on this deal. It's definitely way cheaper than his 5th-year option would have been. He wants more. He wants an extra year, he said. Deontay Hardy, he is 25, 77 overall, scheme fit with star dev. I'll go ahead and try to bring him back on a 4-year deal. He wants more. Simulated to week 11 to do my focus scouting, and I'm going to try to get Ruiz and Hardy back again. Try to go with Ruiz on a 3-year deal and see if he accepts this. He's coming back. And Hardy, we want to try to get him back. We offered him a 3-year deal, no, 4-year deal, and he turned it down. So let's go 5 years and see what he says. Now you can find a better team in free agency. Well, obviously you can, because we're the worst team, dude.
No cap on that one.
Regular season we finished 5-12. Cannot believe that we won that many games, but hey, I mean, at least we got something to build on. Checking out the season stats, we're 16th ranked in offense. What the heck? I was not expecting that. And yeah, the worst defense, I was definitely expecting that. Quarterback Devin Leary threw for 4,400 yards, 28 touchdowns, and 27 interceptions. We got Jameis Winston Jr. over here throwing as many interceptions as touchdowns. 62% completion with the 82 rating. That's freaking terrible. Alvin Kamara had a great season, 1,200 yards, 5.2 per carry with 13 touchdowns. Rookie receiver Demas had 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns. Chris Olave had 900 yards, 3 touchdowns. And tight end Troutman had 800 yards, 6 touchdowns. Deontay Hardy, 800 yards, 4 touchdowns. And look at Alvin Kamara, 700 yards, 5 touchdowns receiving. Defensively, Nakobe Dean led the team in tackles with 128. The rookie defensive end Will McDonald had 20 TFLs. Dang. Sacks, Zach Bond led the team with 6. Defensive end McDonald had 5.5. Wilkins had 3, and Nakobe Dean had 3. Interceptions, Nakobe Dean had 3 as well. So look, Nakobe Dean's out here balling out for us. He had 128 tackles, 3 sacks, 3 interceptions. Buddy Johnson had 3 interceptions. Adebo had 2, Roby had 2, and a couple other guys had 1. Jalen Hurts won Super Bowl MVP and regular season MVP. Zach Taylor won Coach of the Year with the Bengals. Cooper Kupp won Offensive Player of the Year with the Rams. Chase Young won Defensive Player of the Year with the Commanders. Bijan Robinson won Offensive Rookie of the Year with the Ravens. And Brian Brissett, I don't know how you say it, won Defensive Rookie of the Year with the Seahawks. All right, we have $91 million in cap space, and we got to figure out who we want to re-sign here. I'm going to try to bring Hardy back again, I guess, and see what he says. I'm just going to offer him a 4-year deal. If he turns it down, then F it. He's coming back. All right. Anybody else we want to bring back? Pretty much going to end up moving on from all of these guys. They were just here to hold us over. Checking out the team salaries, I'm going to go ahead and release Andrews Pete, the left guard. He's 30 years old, 74 overall on the last year of his deal. He's going to make $18 million. We're going to save $11.8 million by releasing him. This is what the team is looking like before free agency. We have Alvin Kamara still. We actually have a pretty decent young wide receiver core. The offensive line is not bad at all. We do need a new left guard and a new tight end. I scouted quarterbacks heavily in the draft, so we should be able to draft one since we have like 3 first-round picks. Defensively, oh look, Nakobe Dean went to star dev. Warner went to star dev. We need a new middle linebacker, and we need another cornerback. Defensive line like crazy. We need defensive tackle. We need 2 pass rushers. All right, in free agency, we actually spent a lot of money and brought in a good amount of players. I'm getting Daniil Hunter. He's an outside linebacker, but I'm moving to defensive end to be a pass rusher for us. He's 86 overall with star dev. Bringing in Jordan Brooks at middle linebacker, 84 overall with star dev, scheme fit. He's 26 years old. Getting Ed Oliver at defensive tackle, 26 years old, 84 overall with star dev. Bringing in JJ Watt for veteran leadership. He's a defensive end, 80 overall, star dev, scheme fit, 35 years old. And then bringing in a kicker and a punter. And then I'm also bringing in Mo Alley Cox at tight end, and he could be the starter for us if we can't find someone in the draft. All right, we're here in the draft. I have 3 first-round picks. I have the number 4 pick, number 8 pick, and number 11 pick. I'm trading up for the number 1 pick from the Titans to make sure I get this quarterback. They want my first-round pick, number 4 this year, a second rounder, and a 4th rounder next year. So we're still gonna have 3 first-round picks this year. All right, I traded for that number 1 pick, and I'm gonna draft this quarterback, Julian Hewitt. He's an improviser, scheme fit. His true talent's a 1st to 2nd rounder, but that's how all these other quarterbacks are that are supposed to be top 5s. And he looks like the best one of all of them. And you know, quarterback is extremely overrated. I want to make sure that we get the best one that I think is in the class, because we really need a quarterback right now. So here he comes to the Saints. Hidden dev, 93 throw power. First round, still pick number 8. I'm going to draft this center, Carson Castle. He's a power scheme fit. We need another left guard, so hope this dude is going to be the one that we need. He has great strength, elite change of direction. Only got him 50% scouted, so no more dev, dang it, 90 strength. The last first round pick that we have, I'm gonna draft this cornerback, Emmett Trucks. He's a zone, 50% scouted on him, and he has B zone coverage, and his man coverage could be between A to C. He has great in a lot of things, so basically just taking a chance on him. No more dev, that figures. Here in the 4th round, we didn't have a 2nd or 3rd round pick. I'm going to draft this wide receiver, Monte Sanford. He's a deep threat from Auburn. He's 6'2", 234 pounds. Basically just taking a chance because he has the chance to have A in a lot of things is what I was trying to say. No more dev, 90 speed. This is what we had to deal with and live with here with our first round picks. We got a 73 overall quarterback. We drafted number 1 overall. He does have hidden dev. Hopefully he has a bright future. We got 3 seasons left, so he needs to develop quickly. Center we drafted is a 73 overall. He only has no more dev, but he will be starting for us right away at left guard. The cornerback I drafted is actually a 76 overall. He only has normal dev, but that's all right. He's going to be starting for us right away as well. And then the wide receiver I drafted is a 69. I'll let the computer draft the rest of the guys. Let's see what the entire NFL draft is looking like. There's a corner that was number 2 pick in the first round, 77 overall. He's the highest overall. Wide receiver Javier Harris, second round, was a 77 overall. Looking at all the quarterbacks, the highest overalls was a 74. 2 of them were 74, and then Argyle was a 73. Here's what the starting lineup looks like for season 3. We got Hewitt at quarterback, 73 overall with hidden dev. Kamara's a 93 X factor. Olave and Hardy at wide receiver 1 and 2, and then Demas at wide receiver 3. Castle's gonna be starting at left guard. He's playing up to a 76 as a rookie right now. So the offensive line looks pretty good. We're gonna roll with Mo Alley Cox at tight end for this season. Defensively, look how freaking nice this thing looks compared to last year. We had a bunch of normal devs. Now we got a bunch of star devs and 1 superstar. But we brought in Brooks at middle linebacker. We got Lattimore 93 overall at cornerback 1. We got Debo at cornerback 2. He's a 77 overall with star dev. Trucks, the rookie cornerback, is going to be starting in the slot. He's a 76 overall with normal dev. Matthews a 90 with superstar. The biggest change that we made obviously is going to be the defensive line. We got JJ Watt, we got Ed Oliver, and Daniil Hunter. So hopefully we can get us some freaking sacks. We got a lot of scheme fits here on offense and on defense. So we'll see how this season goes, man. Hopefully we win some Rookie of the Year awards defensively and offensively. At the midseason point, we're off to a pretty good start. We're 4-3 and leading the division. The Buccaneers are 3-4, the Falcons are 2-4, and the Panthers are 1-6. Let's see if we got the dev trait revealed yet on some players here. Oh, look at that. Hewitt's got superstar dev, boy. 77 overall. Very nice. Like to see it. I don't think that any of the other guys had a hidden dev. We have $79 million in cap space, and we need to bring some guys back here. Definitely want to bring Tyrann Mathieu back. Maybe Marcus May, but since they're over 31 years old, I want to wait till the end of the season and see if they regress some. Pete Werner at outside linebacker is 26. He's only an 81 overall scheme fit though. He wants 5 years, 65 million. That's a lot of money for someone that's 81 overall. I'm gonna wait and see. JJ Watt, probably not gonna bring him back. Paulson Adebo is a 78 overall star dev, 25 years old. I'll try to bring him back on a 5-year deal. He's coming back. Anybody else over here? Mo Alley Cox, probably a 1-year thing. We finished the season 9-8 and actually won the division, made it to the playoffs. We had a huge turnaround here from last season. Panthers went 9-8, Buccaneers went 6-11, Falcons went 5-12. See what our team did here with the stats. 3rd ranked offense. Dang, the rookie quarterback led the team in passing yards. Very nice. 17th on defense, so that's a big step up from 32nd. 5,395 passing yards for the rookie quarterback. 44 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, 64% completion with a 107 rating. Very nice. Love to see that. Rushing yards, Alvin Kamara had 980 yards, 4.5 per carry with 5 touchdowns. Receiving yards, Mo Alley Cox led the team with 1,295 yards, 5 touchdowns from the tight end spot. The rookie, well, second-year receiver, Dante Demas Jr. had 1,200 yards, 15 touchdowns. Chris Olave, 1,100 yards with 11 touchdowns. Deontay Hardy, 895 yards, 8 touchdowns. Alvin Kamara had almost 500 yards with 3 touchdowns receiving as well. Defensively, Warner led the team in tackles with 114. Jordan Brooks had 102. TFL's Ed Oliver had 19. Hunter had 16. And Watt had 11. TJ Watt led the team in sacks with 17. Let's go. Daniil Hunter had 14.5. Ed Oliver had 12. And McDonald had 4. Actually getting some pretty good production here from the free agent signings that we got. Debo led the team in interceptions with 2. And then like 5 other guys had 1. We are going to be playing against the 11-6 Washington Commanders / football team in the first round of the playoffs. We have the Cardinals against the Packers, Vikings against the Rams, and the Cowboys had a first round bye week. Playing in New Orleans, we're up 7-0 in the first. Now it's tied 7-7. Second quarter, we're losing 10-7. We're winning 14-13. 17-13, we're winning in the third. Fourth quarter, we're still winning. Now we're losing 20-17. Come on, can we do something here? Now 23-17, we lost our first playoff game. The Bengals beat the Cowboys in the Super Bowl 34-31 to win their first ever Super Bowl. Middle linebacker Devondre Campbell won Super Bowl MVP. Joe Burrow won MVP of the regular season with the Bengals. Zach Taylor won Coach of the Year with the Bengals. Terry McLaurin won Offensive Player of the Year with the Commanders. Brian Burns won Defensive Player of the Year with the Panthers. Our quarterback Julian Hewitt won Offensive Rookie of the Year with the Saints. Cameron Shepard won Defensive Rookie of the Year with the Chiefs. Hewitt already jumped up to X Factor since he won Offensive Rookie of the Year. The dude's playing up to 86 overall. He came a long way from the beginning of the season. He was only a 73 overall, I'm pretty sure. Now he's already playing up. It's freaking crazy. Staff week, he won the Offensive Rookie of the Year and got the development trait increased to Superstar X Factor. So we currently have a Superstar X Factor quarterback on a rookie deal going into his second season, and we have $102 million in cap space. Just coming off a playoff berth, lost the first game in the playoffs, but this team went from 0 to hero like within 2 years, within quickness time here. Tyrann Mathieu, 33 years old, 87 overall, star dev. He wants a 1-year deal for $12 million. I'll offer it to him. He's coming back. Marcus May, he is 82 overall, scheme fit. I don't know. I want to bring him back, but at the same time, I think that we might be able to get younger and higher overall at that position. Same thing with the outside linebacker. I'm going to go to free agency and see if we can upgrade these 2 spots here. JJ Watt, let's see, he's 36 years old. I think I'm going to try to upgrade that spot too. I know he just got 17 sacks, but I highly doubt he's going to do that now. He lost his star dev. He's down to normal dev. I will try to bring the kicker back. He wants to come back. Nice. Who else do we have? Mo Alley Cox. He did pretty good for us. He jumped up to star dev, but he's 31 years old and he's 76 overall. So I'm going to see if I can upgrade that position. He was good for a 1-year bridge though. Checking out the team salaries, and I'm not going to release anybody, but look at this. Alvin Kamara is making $25 million for the last year of his deal. I mean, we still have plenty of money, so I'm not going to release him. I want to keep him on the team. He's 93 overall at the age of 30, but that's just crazy. This is what the team is looking like before free agency. Pretty much set offensive line. We're good at running back, and we're good at wide receiver. Demas jumped up to star dev. That's good to see. We do need a tight end though, especially since we're running a Kansas City offense. Tight end is like the #1 focus for the passing game. Defensively, we're actually looking pretty good as well. The rookie from last year, Trucks, is down, or he's at a 77 overall. He still has normal dev. We do need a new defensive end since we lost JJ Watt. And we do need a new outside linebacker and a new strong safety. So let's see what we can do here. This game pisses me off sometimes. I had a whole bunch of guys on here that I was targeting, and then I went to click the L3 button to evaluate the offers, and all of a sudden it froze up and it said that a lost connection and kicked me off. Whenever I came back in, it didn't have any of the players that I targeted anymore on there, and like half the players I was targeting got signed to other teams because it acts like I didn't even give them an offer at all. So I had to go back through and re-offer players that didn't get signed. I'm like, what the hell, man? So this is what we ended up getting in free agency. I'm getting Zadarius Smith. He's outside linebacker, but I'm moving to defensive end for 1 year. Bobby Wagner, I'm moving him to outside linebacker to take over Warner's spot. Warner is one of the guys I was trying to get and had the biggest offer, and it froze up. And then whenever I came back, he ended up signing with someone else because it acted like I didn't even give him a freaking offer. And same thing with strong safety. Tried to get Marcus May back because he was the highest overall. But he ended up going with someone else because it acted like we didn't even give him an offer. So we had to go get Derek Forrest instead. And then we're getting Jonnu Smith at tight end. Here in the first round, we have pick 21. I'm going to draft this free safety, Marcel Edmonds. He's a run support, which is a scheme fit for us on the strong safety side. So I'll move him over there. He has 8 tackle. We only got him 50% scouted. And he has great speed, elite strength. He has the fastest 40 of all the safeties. We don't know what his coverage is on man or zone. It could be between a B and a D, so I'm going to take a chance and hope that it's closer to B on both of them. Normal dev. Wouldn't you know, it always happens, huh? Here in the third round, we didn't have a second round pick. I'm going to draft this defensive tackle, Clifton Dubose. He's a speed rusher, so I would end up moving him to defensive end, even though he has like 296 pounds. Don't really know a lot about him. He's 50% scouted, but he looks like a pretty good athlete. He has good to great in everything except for agility. Normal dev, 87 strength. First round pick, free safety Edmonds is a 75 overall. He only has normal dev, but he's such a high overall that he would definitely be starting at strong safety over the guy we just signed in free agency. And then Dubose is a 70 overall defensive tackle, and I simulated the rest of the draft. See what the entire draft recap is looking like. Number 1 pick was a quarterback, 76 overall. Highest overall in the class was a 79 overall running back the Seahawks drafted, and then it drops down to 76. Alright, this is what the team is looking like for the start of season 4. Hewitt's a 83 X Factor, Kamara's a 94 X Factor, Olave is a 87 with star, Hardy's a 81 with star, Demas is a 80 with star. Offensive line is looking great. We got Johnny Smith at tight end for 1 year. Defensively, Ed Oliver jumped up to superstar dev. We brought in Wagner at outside linebacker in free agency, and we brought in Zadarius Smith at defensive end. I'm going to start Edmonds, the rookie, over top of Forrest at safety. I'm going to end up trading away Forrest to make sure that he stays, or to make sure that Edmonds stays the starter. Matthews at 88 with star dev. Lattimore's a 92 with star dev. Trucks is a 77 with normal dev, and Audebo is a 79 with star. So I'm going to go ahead and trade away Forrest right now and move on. I'm going to trade the safety Forrest to the Patriots for outside linebacker Willie Gay, 75 overall. Here at the midseason point, things are looking sketchy. We're off to a bad start with the 2-5 record. Falcons are 5-2, the Panthers are 3-4, and the Buccaneers are 2-5. I've seen other Madden YouTubers talk about season 4 whenever they're doing these franchise rebuilds. They say that season 4 is always like the most sketchiest. It seems like for some reason the team always does bad no matter what. But we're gonna move on. We got players ready to negotiate here. 103 million in cap space. Alvin Kamara wants a 3-year deal for 22 million. I do want to bring him back. I'm gonna wait till the end of the year since he's 30 years old. Same thing with Tyrann Matthews, 33. Bobby Wagner is a 1-year thing. Zadarius Smith was a 1-year thing. I'm gonna go ahead and bring the punter back. Sign him on a 2-year deal if he'll have it. He wants more money. This guy. Nakobe Dean has been good for us. He's up to a 79 overall with star dev. He's still only 24 years old. He's coming back. And who else do we have? Trevor Penning. I turned down his 5th-year option because he was still in the 70s, but I do want to re-sign him. I'll bump him up to a 3-year deal. He wants more. He's mad about that 5th-year option thing, probably. Will Lutz, I'll sign him on a 1-year deal if he'll come back. No, everyone wants more money now. End of the regular season, we finished 10-7, second in the division, but we did make the playoffs. The Falcons went 10-7, the Buccaneers went 9-8, and the Panthers went 7-10. See what happened with the stats here. We have the 5th ranked offense, very nice. Defensively, we were ranked 19th, so defense fell off a little bit from last year. Julian Hewitt passed for 4,800 yards, 41 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 65% completion with a 108 rating. That's really good production. Alvin Kamara, 1,296 yards, 4.9 per carry with 11 touchdowns. Very nice. Johnny Smith led the team in yards receiving with 1,107 touchdowns. Olave had 992 yards, 11 touchdowns. Dante Demas had 870 yards, 9 touchdowns, and Deontay Hardy had 786 yards with 5 touchdowns. Alvin Kamara had almost 600 yards with 6 touchdowns. Defensively, Jordan Brooks led the team in tackles with 129. Nakobe Dean had 113. Ed Oliver had 19 TFLs. Zadarius Smith had 13. Hunter had 12. Sacks, Daniil Hunter led the team with 13. Ed Oliver had 11. Zadarius Smith had 10.5, and Christian Wilkins had 5. Interceptions, Nakobe Dean balling out again with 3 interceptions, 2.5 sacks, 113 tackles. Debo had 3 interceptions. Edmonds, the rookie safety, had 2 interceptions. Matthew had 2, and Trucks had 1. We're going to be playing against the 10-7 Minnesota Vikings in the wild card round. We also have the Falcons against the Eagles, the Commanders against the Rams, and the Seahawks had a bye week. Playing in Minnesota on the wild card round, we're down 7-0 in the first. We tied it up 7-7. Second quarter, we're up 10-7. Now we're losing 14-10. We're up 17-14 in the third. We're up 20-14. Now we're losing 21-20. Now we're up 28-21. Now it's 28-27, 35-27. We're winning in the fourth, and we won the game. Finally got our first playoff win in season 4. Going to be playing against the 12-5 Seattle Seahawks in the divisional round of the playoffs. They're the #1 seed. And on the other side, we have the Falcons against the Rams. Playing in Seattle in the divisional round, we're up 3-0 in the first. Second quarter, we're losing 7-3. Now we're losing 10-3. We're losing 10-6. Now we're up 13-10 in the third. Fourth quarter, we're losing 16-13. We scored. We're up 20-16. Now we're losing 23-20. Now it's tied 23-all in the fourth. Seattle kicked the field goal at the end to win it. Falcons beat the Raiders in the Super Bowl 13-10 to win their first ever Super Bowl. Troy Anderson, middle linebacker, won Super Bowl MVP for the Falcons. Josh Allen won MVP of the regular season with the Bills. Nathaniel Hackett won Coach of the Year with the Broncos. Cooper Kupp won Offensive Player of the Year with the Rams. Nick Bosa won Defensive Player of the Year with the Patriots. We have $125 million in cap space. Alvin Kamara wants a 3-year deal for basically $25 million. He's still a 94 overall X Factor. We'll bump him up to a 4-year deal. He's coming back, finishing off his career with the Saints. Tyrann Mathieu, 34 years old. He's still 86 overall with Star Dev. He wants a 1-year, $10 million deal. He's coming back. And we got Bobby Wagner, was a 1-year thing. Punter still want to bring him back. He keeps on wanting more money. He's like, give me some more money. All right, how about that? He's going to free agency. Really? Franchise tag a punter for $3.6 million? Nah, I'm good. So Darius Smith was a 1-year thing. Trevor Penning, I still want to bring him back. He turned down our offer. We sent him a 3-year deal. So offer him a 4-year deal and see what he says. He's going to test free agency. He's still mad. Will Lutz, a kicker. I'm going to throw him a 2-year deal. I don't want to bring Willie Gay back or Johnny Smith. Probably going to end up trading for a legit elite tight end if we can't find one in free agency. This is what the team is looking like before free agency. We need a new left tackle and a new tight end. Defensively, we need a new outside linebacker and a new defensive end. And I guess we could probably use a corner. That rookie safety Edmonds is playing up to a 78. He still has normal dev though. Free agency, I'm signing Kenny Moore, cornerback. He's 82 overall. Left tackle Tyler Smith, 80 overall. Middle linebacker Olakun, I'm going to move him to outside linebacker. He's a 78. And then defensive end Drake Jackson is the best guy I could get. I did also try to get George Kittle, tight end, 95 overall. Offered him a crap ton of money, had the biggest offer. He signed a 3-year deal for like what, 32, 33 million up there for them. Offered him like a 6-year deal for like 100 million, and he decided to go to LA because he was not interested in coming to us. All right, I'm trading for tight end Kyle Pitts from the Atlanta Falcons. I'm giving him a 1st-round pick this year and next year and a 5th-round pick to make it happen so we can get this elite tight end that we need for this offense. Simulated the entire draft since we didn't have a 1st-round pick and it's the 5th season, so check out the entire NFL draft. #1 pick was a 76 overall quarterback. Highest overall in the whole draft was a left tackle, 81 overall. Here's what the team is looking like for the 5th and final season. This team has come a long way from where we started at. We got Hewitt, 88 overall X Factor at quarterback. Kamara's 95 X Factor at running back. Kyle Pitts, 99 X Factor at tight end. Offensive line actually looks pretty good still. It's been pretty good the whole time. Olave's up to 89 overall star dev, wide receiver 1. Demas is 82 star dev, and Hardy's 82 with star dev. Defensively, Ed Oliver's up to X Factor, 91 overall. Daniil Hunter's at 88 with star. Wilkins is at 88 with star. We got Lattimore, cornerback 1 is a 92 with star. Adebo's at 80 with normal dev at cornerback 3. And then we got Kenny Moore in free agency is 83 at star. Jackson coming over in free agency to play defensive end. And we got Edmonds at safety still with normal dev 78. Olakun coming in free agency 79 with normal dev. Jordan Brooks 88 with star dev. Nakobe Dean's up to 81 with star dev. And Tyrann Mathieu at 87 with star dev. So last season, so Super Bowl or bust, man. At the midseason point, not off to a great start once again. 2-5. The Buccaneers are 6-1. The Falcons are 2-4, and the Panthers are 2-5. Hopefully, we can have a bounce back year like last season and scrape into the playoffs. End of the regular season, and I don't know what the hell happened, but we finished 6-11. We're an 89 overall team out here going 6-11. See if the stats can tell us something about what happened. 13th ranked offense. Offense fell off some. We were in the top 10. Defensively 31st. What the heck, man? Julian Hewitt, 4,500 yards passing, 38 touchdowns, 16 interceptions, 64% completion with a 98 rating. It's probably his worst season that he's had. We'll look at his season stats real quick. I think that's the worst season he's had since he's come into the NFL. Yeah, his rating was 107 and then 108, and now it's 98. Threw the most interceptions he ever has, and he had the least amount of touchdown passes, but I mean, still a decent season. Rushing wise, Kamara, 1,100 yards, 4.5 per carry with 5 touchdowns. Receiving, Demas had 1,200 yards, 13 touchdowns. Kyle Pitts, 1,100 yards, 6 touchdowns. Olave, 900 yards, 8 touchdowns. Hardy had 500 yards with 7 touchdowns. Kamara had over 400 yards with 1 touchdown receiving. Defensively, Nakobe Dean led the team in tackles with 146. Brooks had 135. Ed Oliver had 21 TFLs. Wilkins had 17. And Hunter had 13. And we barely got any sacks. We've been getting like 2, 3, 4 players over 10 sacks every year. And then whenever we're loaded to the brim with the best players, all of a sudden we can't get no sacks. Wilkins had 7.5. Hunter had 7.5. Oliver had 6.5. Brooks at the middle linebacker spot had 4.5. Jackson had 4.5. Dubose had 3.5. Interceptions, Kenny Moore had 4. Lattimore had 2. And then like 5 or 6 guys had 1. The Ravens beat the Vikings in the Super Bowl 42-31 to win their 3rd Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson won Super Bowl MVP. Joe Burrow won MVP of the regular season with the Bengals. Clyde Holland won Coach of the Year with the Jets. Zeke Elliott won Offensive Player of the Year with the Cowboys. Aaron Donald won Defensive Player of the Year with the Rams. This is what the final team looks like. Hewitt's up to a 91 with X Factor. We still got Pitts, 99 X Factor. Kamara's at 93 X Factor. Olave's at 90 with Star. Demas jumped up to Superstar dead with 84 overall. Nice. Hardy's at 83 with Star. I mean, this offense was pretty much loaded this season and last season. Defensively, same thing. I mean, the team's like freaking loaded over here. Of course, Hunter is starting to get a little older. He's still at 84. He's 32 years old, but he had like 2 or 3 really good seasons with us. And all of a sudden, this past season, everything just went to crap on the defense. But that's going to be it for the video. If y'all like what y'all saw, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. Say something down in the comments. I appreciate everyone for watching. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.